Hi, good morning. Lovely to speak to you.
Morning.
Obviously, it's been a few weeks now since IRP Medical decided to join Silicone Expo 2022, and we're very excited to have you. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Obviously, we want to learn a little bit about IRP Medical, who you are, how you operate, who you work with, and things like that. So if you could just give us a quick overview of who IRP Medical are as a business, where you're situated, and yeah, just a little bit of background.
Sure. Let me tell you who we are. So IRP Medical, our business is about improving patients' lives and user experience on the medical devices and components that we manufacture. We really are a contract manufacturer and distribution of molded liquid silicone, high consistency silicone, organic rubber components, assembly and packaging for the medical device industry. We specialize in custom critical to function engineered components with complex designs and difficult to manufacture. We thrive in high volume, full automation, injection, molding, transfer, flashless compression, as well as over molding of rubber over plastic, over metal, over rubber, over flex circuits, and nylon fabrics. We are a ISO 13485 certified and operating in a 40,000 square feet FDA registered facility with ISO 7 and ISO 8 clean rooms. Our expertise in LSR and LIM that enables us to rapidly scale up from prototype to millions of parts. We currently do class 1 and class 2 medical devices and intends to expand to class 3 and implantables. We're on track to add capabilities in extrusion and braiding of silicone tubing. This is who we are.
Fantastic. So obviously, as a well-respected and well-certificated business in the medical sector, you're obviously well-versed in dealing with some big challenges that the medical market might throw up at you every so often. So could you maybe give an example of a client of maybe a requirement that they might give to you that you then, how the process works when a company comes to you with a requirement for a product? How would that process work?
Well, usually, I mean, we are contract manufacturers, so we don't own the design of the medical components or devices themselves. They come to us with drawings primarily, or if not, we may be able to assist them in design for manufacturability, DFM. Okay, and then we can make recommendations on the choices of materials that's suitable for their applications. For us, because we are a contract manufacturer, we have a library of sourcing the variety of liquid silicones or even high consistency silicones if we have to formulate, and even organics, to what suits the needs of the customer. And so that's where we come in. Most of the in the history of our business here, most of the businesses we had is they came to us with a problem and we provide a solution. In some cases, we even have to reverse engineer because they happen to have suddenly issues with suppliers or not having the product not be available. So we help them out to that. And that's how we built our business. And from there, we start from prototype. And for us, we already have in mind the opportunity of from prototype to high volume. So in mind, we already have scalability. I think that's where we thrive. We get into something and we think like we have to have already that scalability in mind. Usually you can start with one cavity and we're already thinking about 4, 8, or 16 or more.
Right.
So that helps us our growth.
Fantastic. And at the moment, obviously, the medical market is a growing one, not just in the United States and Canada, but internationally. Where do you see? It is global. Yeah. Where do you see the market going over the next, say, 6 to 12 months? Are there any major challenges that are being faced either by you directly or within the supply chain?
You said the last two words. That is an issue across the board right now, which is supply chain. I think the issue really on hand, and not just us, but a lot in the device industry, even our customers, is the availability of raw materials and even importation or exportation of goods. You know, LSR now their lead times are very long, not just because of the difficulty of the businesses to to attract and keep personnel to work and, increase their capabilities. But the logistics itself, we have, machineries or equipment that we are exporting from or importing from Asia, and it has not arrived here yet in the US.
Yeah.
So this is going to be with us for a long time.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's a story that we're hearing from a number of different sources at the moment. But one point that was made to me recently was that the material is there to be had, but it's the manpower of actually being able to get it. Now, obviously, these last 18 months have been difficult in all different manufacturing sectors with people on furlough. So if you have 80% or going down to, let's say you have a 20% reduction in workforce and they're still having to get the same amount of material produced, you have an issue there. And then the moment someone may have become ill, then you have another problem there as well within the workforce. The great thing at the moment and timing for our event for next year at Silicone Expo is things are starting to get a lot better. People are returning to work. Businesses are starting to pick up where requirements have been in place, and the supply chain is starting to return back to where things were maybe in 2019, with the overall impression maybe being that we might be looking at around about 110 to 120% of manufacturing being done in comparison to where it was in 2019, which is great. Now, the best way of helping people do that is to make sure everyone's still talking and they're dealing with new suppliers. And obviously this is why IRP Medical are coming to Silicone Expo next year, is to meet your industry peers, to meet new clients, meet new suppliers, and network amongst your industry. So when you're at the event, one thing that would be very interesting, which you touched on before actually within your capabilities, is what sets IRP Medical aside from the other silicone molders that are out there? What are, if you could say 3 key things that make IRP stand out, what would you say?
I think the key is, one is the depth of experience of our key people here, not just from management, but even down to the manufacturing floor in liquid silicone and, high consistency silicone and organic rubber processing. Okay. Decades of experience. That's important, especially in today's world. And it's quite difficult to hire people with such experience. Okay. The second thing that I can say is customer centric. I think that's who we are, really. We really focus on the customer experience and not just providing them the product itself, but providing a solution. Most of the accounts that we have kept are essentially came to us with a problem, and have we've been able to enhance their experience and improve the the level of service that they get on the elastomer components. And in some cases, we ended up also molding plastics. I want to say it's not silicone, but we can process plastic also. And the only time that we do that is if it adds value to the product, to the component, such as over molding. We can come up with something, well, we'll over mold the plastic and then we'll mold the plastic and over mold it with the silicone.
Right.
That's the one. And the third thing, I think, is the brand. I think we built a reputation and a brand there of who we are and what we do. We're small, we're nimble, so we can act really fast, in the whole process.
Yeah. So it's a dynamic business that still looks after what the grassroots of every business is about, and it's putting the customer first and finding a solution where the customer may not have seen there been a problem, I guess, as well.
Absolutely. And in some cases, we may not have all the solutions at our fingertips, but we assist them in finding the right people who can help them out.
Yeah.
I think that's how we built our name and the word of mouth of, what we do. Yeah.
Well, with such a depth of knowledge in the industry, I'm sure you're very well connected already. And like you say, you can, if you don't know the answer, you'll know someone that does, which is always a very helpful way of dealing with the client. So that's great.
Yes. Yes. I think that relationship is around, with suppliers, with customers, and even amongst us. I think the silicone industry, the silicone business is quite small. We know each other. We know our competition, our friends. We socialize at the end of every expo or a show. We know what we do.
Yeah.
So, you know, we kind of help each other too. I think competition really enhances the silicon market.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's right what you're saying about the relationship within the supply chain, the competitors,
Yes.
and so on. It's very much I don't want to use the word sort of family group, but everyone does have an understanding of what each business does and where they fall within the manufacturing stages and processes. And we're very excited to have companies like IRP Medical take part in Silicone Expo next year, because companies like yours are going to be the lifeblood of what we do at the show. You have something interesting to offer, you're well connected, you know who the other people are within the industry, and you'll be inviting and enticing the right types of buyers to the show, which we're very excited about. Plus, so far, not wood, everything so far with the people we've spoken to, you've all been a fantastic group of people as well. Every company we've dealt with in the launch of this event has been enjoyable to work with. They've been incredibly informative, learned a huge amount from what the money is involved within the industry, where people are making money, what the costs are. And yeah, it's going to be a fantastic event, I'm sure. So from all of us at Silicone Expo and Select Global Events, we are very excited to see you at the event next year. Looking forward to seeing you there, and thank you very much for being involved.
Yeah, well, we appreciate too also you putting together this this show, and we would like to participate.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you there. So Ray, thank you once again. We'll stay in touch, and between now and the event, we'll also be doing some mutual marketing activities, I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed.
Great. Thanks, Ray. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.